guys, welcome to the channel. Today is really exciting. Thanks to our friends over at DSX. Dave, the owner of DSX, is a smart cookie. I've told him many times. I'm saying it publicly so he knows I'm legit. Well, this in my hand is a flex fuel kit for the C8. And until recently, the 2024s have been truly locked up because they switched a lot of things around in their operating system. Well, Dave has finally come up with a solution. The flex fuel system will work. It is only available through the dealer network, which you can find us on dsxtuning.com's website as, you know, the official dealer and installer of this stuff. Today, it goes on the ERay. That way we can finally really begin our progression series and ideally not be disappointed, because today we're going to find out how much E85 makes on this basically stock with a tune, because you actually need a tune in order to do this, but we're going to do that. And then we're going to add Cook's headers. They're fancy new 2-inch Cook's headers. Probably add the cats. I think that we should add the cats, you know, to be good here. And then we're going heads cam, and we're going to see if we can put this bad boy into the 9s, naturally aspirated, on street tires. Let's begin.
So why is ethanol such a big deal for this application?
So what's the easiest way to say this? A gallon of gas has more energy potential than a gallon of E85. But you use quite a bit more E85 in the same volume. I hope that makes sense. And because of that, there is actually extra power to be had out of E85 plus. It's knock resistance, it's a lot higher octane, and with the right atomization, thanks to direct injection, you can really take advantage of it, even naturally aspirated. Something that you would not be able to do on the previous generation of engines, the LS engines that are port injection, because unless you were running super high compression, you really couldn't take advantage of either the octane or the extra power that's you know, based on the ratio of fuel to air. Was that a lot? That makes sense?
I can probably chop it up. Like, more octane, more power.
Well, it's not just that. There's also, okay, you guys, the smart ones will get it. The rest of you, just more octane, more power. So before we begin, we also have a great update from HP Tuners at the same time, which HP Tuners has to be used with the DSX. It's required. You actually have to send the file to Dave himself to be able to put the flex fuel on the car. Well, HP Tuners has finally unlocked proper logging with the C8. That sounds kind of weird, but really what was happening was that the logging comes in very slow. For most people, if they were doing tuning, they probably, like me, had a much different configuration file with a limited number of parameters to log because the data came in like a bag of shit. And well, now HP Tuners has a new update. I'm going to show you the differences right now. As a tuner, you would see prior to this most recent update. You would see things are coming in very slow. Look at this. This is abysmally slow. It's, you rev it up and it like interpolates, and it's just not very good. It's very bad, actually. Look, one more rev. Yeah. It's hard to get a lot of useful data when the data looks like that. Just not very fast. So now I'm going to update to the newest HP Tuners beta and see what it looks like. All right, fire back up, start logging. This is my first time logging with this, so we're gonna see this together, gang. Same parameters as the last time, but more of them are actually coming in. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the difference. I didn't rescale this. Now we're getting usable data, and even more parameters have come in, like the primary and secondary, or the primary start of injection, end of injection. This is, look at that. Now that is useful. That's really useful. So there's two places to put the flex fuel sensor, in my opinion. One of them is a bit harder. It's like a stealth install. It's below the car where the line comes out of the fuel tank and then meets the line that goes all the way up. It's a hard line that goes all the way up to here. And then of course, there's up here where you can kind of put it, but you got to move this guy out of the way, kink it that way, and then, you know, swing it around. Because this is a convertible and you're not going to see it anyway, I'm choosing to do it the easy way, which is up top. Down below, you've got to create a couple more lines in order to get it to fit properly. You kind of have to do a super duper loop-de-doo in order to, you know, keep it in there secured nicely. And I just like putting the flex fuel sensor up top here. So this is not a kit that's available to the public, at least not yet. This is only available through authorized installers. That's right, DSX has a list of authorized installers. Of course, yours truly is on there because, well, we do, or at least because we do things right here. And I have a good relationship with Dave. He and I played a little Warcraft together. World of Warcraft. Nerds. Roll the world. You know, this is just a GM flex fuel sensor, which is nifty. I'm trying to debate, do I want it this way or this way? I think I want it away from the heat, so we'll kind of do it over here. I'm kinking the line a little bit, not kink, but you know, get it out of the way. I've got fancy quick connect line that I believe we're just gonna do that, and now it doesn't look the best, but it's kind of what we got. It doesn't exactly look factory, which is why I'm saying there is a better way to install this below, because the top side, you know, there's honestly, it's just a hard line that goes all the way down. You either have to do that hard line or you have to just take what you can get. I don't actually like it up here. I'm gonna move it. All right, gang, flex fuel sensors installed. I've loaded the tune from DSX. They have to modify it behind the scenes, something that I can't do. And then right now, we're about to find out if flex fuel works. I'm just gonna add in, well, I'm gonna fire her up. I'm gonna add in the alcohol percentage because I don't think I had it on the 2020 since it just wasn't available and very limited in terms of the amount of things that could be read. So I'm just gonna connect real quick, add alcohol percent, and see if it reads. Okay, and 10.6. We have true flex fuel thanks to DSX. Let's see what she does.
Don't forget, you have to do your little thing to make this a rear-wheel drive car.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Good call.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, let's dyno her. Okay, that's what we were expecting. That's stock tune with the flex fuel turned on and stock everything else. So 440 is exactly on the money. For the fun, to put E85 in. So while we wait for that, I feel like this is a really good time for me to go over the comments of the week.
Oh, I thought you were going to say put on a shirt.
No, of course not. That'll be next week's comments, I'm sure.
All right, well, comment of the week, start now.
Okay. So, regarding the MBRP video on the ERay, I was asked, did you dyno it afterwards? And no, there were no games. I did dyno it, there were no games. In fact, you can even see in this video that we're right back on the stock tune. We're making the same thing as it did bone stock, you know, 440 rear wheel horsepower. Somebody said, is that even possible when a K&N air filter gives more horsepower than an exhaust system? Something wrong. Something. Ting. Ting. Well, yes, it is. It is very possible because exhaust systems today are not like exhaust systems of like the 1960s. They actually flow. They flow really, really well. In fact, cats of today can flow really, really well too. Catbacks, most of the time, they're literally just for sound. Even GM says that this dual mode exhaust system is worth like 5 horsepower, but I've actually never seen it perform more than a non-dual mode exhaust. So I think that that's like just advertisement BS. It doesn't really do anything. A lot of money for no gains on the dyno. I mean, this seems to be a common trend of the MBRP video. The honest to God truth is you weren't buying dyno games, you were buying sound. That's the way that you're customizing it. Just kind of like putting stripes on a car or putting, you know, just certain decals on, stuff like that. It customizes it for you. I believe that the MBRP sounds incredible. I actually really, really like the sound. I know that you guys probably can't hear it very well through the phone, but it does sound somewhat exotic, especially compared to the factory exhaust. So I actually really, really like the MBRP. The Corsa, for those of you wondering, because we did test both, the Corsa is a lot quieter in idle and in quiet mode, but the MBRP I think actually has a better tone. Somebody asked me to please review the AWE exhaust, and then somebody else said, why would he do that? I mean, this is actually the second, well, third, it might even be the fourth exhaust on the car, because I got it with the polished tips, the square ones. We put on the factory black tips, then we put on the Corsa dual mode, and now we got the MBRP on. I have no problem testing it. I bought all of those exhausts, but I don't have the money to go buy more exhausts. So if AWE wants me to test it and do a fair review of it, I'm happy to do so. Just send me one. And if you want it back when I'm done with it, that's fine too. Link AWE in here. Get them to, you know, send me shit. They're like right around the corner too.
Are they?
Yeah, they're close to us.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't hang out with us. They're like, no, but that's their problem. So now I'm going to pivot gears to some of the comments that we missed previously in the other videos because they just ran on for too long. The Blackwing, the 800 plus rear wheel horsepower 3D printed intake where I played the piano, and I actually got a copyright strike against it because of the piano playing. It was surprising. I did not see that coming. I spent so much time doing that to avoid copyright bullshit, and I got it anyway. Nuts. But somebody said, you know, that was awesome. I really thank you for that. You know, it was really cool. For those of you guys wondering, I do play the piano. In fact, one of the things that, you know, is in the shop is actually the piano I bought a long time ago. It's more like a shelf these days, it seems, but it's still here. And then, you know, we can do more stuff. Back to the questions. Why don't you build out your ERay setup like you did on the Blackwing? That's a great idea. You guys are just going to have to stay subscribed to see how it all plays out. But next on it, we do have a custom set of headers that we're going to be using on it. It is because the ERay has different headers, but there's all sorts of cool stuff. I do have a progression series ready to go for the ERay. You know, from an NA build all the way to turbos. That's the plan. I want to do that. I want to do that cool progression series. As cool as this is, didn't your Black ZL1 make this or more horsepower with a similar setup back in the day? Heads Cam Maggie? Yes. Honestly, it's one of our proven packages. We dyno our cars in SAE. We have a load on it, so like these pulls aren't short, so it generates real heat, and we tend to make 800 to 850 rear wheel horsepower on pump gas alone, no meth injection whatsoever. I do believe that the CTS-V Blackwing can go a little bit further, but I think that You know, the setup's just proven. It's one of our proven setups that I love putting on all these cars. I mean, we have a whole slew of cars here right now that have that same setup. You know, mostly Camaros, some Corvettes, and they all do a really, really wonderful job. I'm actually really happy with it. It's just our forte. And so I'm very happy that we even have another Blackwing that we're working on right now that is going to be, you know, a pretty cool video as well.
Still looking for an auto one, so if you have an auto one and you're looking for that same build, we'd love to do it.
What he said. Also in that same line of questioning for the Blackwing headers, this more pertains to Street Speed's video where we did his without tuning. I actually did verify with him. He has the Blackwing headers, the Cook's Blackwing headers with the cats. That's on our website. I think it's, let's see, what's the part number? It's like 2313F632. I think that's the part number for the Blackwing headers with the green cats. It does not throw a check engine light. That's the honest to God truth. In fact, on Street Speed's car, we didn't play any games or anything like that. That thing is running on, like, it could run on the factory tube with the Maggie and the darn headers, which is like really impressive, making some good power. So really happy about that. We got to get back to dynoing this thing on flex fuel. Now for the fun, we get to see the ethanol content come up and the stoic value change from 14.1 to, well, hopefully like 10.0 or something like that.
Andrew, what is that in not tuner?
The not tuner, that is the value of which gas combines with air versus the value that ethanol combines with air. And so gas is 14.1 air parts per fuel part, and ethanol is, like, straight ethanol is 9 per, like, so 100% ethanol, but we run E85, which is 85% ethanol, and I've probably confused you all already, but it's like a 9.7 for E85, and I think that we have like something like E70 or E80, something like that, so it won't be entirely 9.7. So air fuel command it, it's 14.7. Let's give this a snap and see what it's changed to. Okay, that's no timing changes, so ethanol didn't add any timing yet. We're gonna do that now. I mean, honestly, you can usually get about 4 degrees extra, but we're gonna start with 2 and see how that does, and then 2 more. What did it do?
460.
Okay, we were expecting 20 to 30 rear wheel horsepower more. We hit the 20. We're not gonna hit the 30, but I am gonna add that extra 2 more degrees and see what happens, but I'm only gonna do it in the top end. So the magic number was 4 degrees of extra timing. Thanks to DSX for making this all possible. Dave, again, is a smart cookie over there. He creates some of the best stuff out there. We're always happy to be on the forefront with them. And if any of you were looking to get this installed on your C8 Global B application at all, you have to go through an authorized dealer like us, so hit us up, especially if you're local to Westchester, Pennsylvania, and would like an extra 20 to 30 horsepower by just swapping fuels to street race fuel.
An affordable mod that does add power.
An affordable mod that does add power, yes. Except you have to tune it, so you have to unlock the computer, which is like, I think it's $1,200 or $1,400, something like that. Then you got to buy the credit. So there, and then you got to get the flex fuel. I mean, it adds up. It definitely adds up. All of a sudden, you're just going to be putting a Magnuson on without a tune, and then being like, "Oh yeah, this was a good deal."
Oh, that was a question that we got that we didn't see. Because this is Global B, could you just slap a Magnuson on and let it?
No, not on this one. No. If it came like the Blackwing Global B, yes, or the Escalade V. I think that would also work with just slapping the Magnuson on. However, naturally aspirated, it's just not ready for it. You got to do some interesting things. We just did that with a truck, did a Whipple truck that Global B, but it definitely needed the tune. So yeah, you need a tune for cars that didn't have it. The cars that do, it appears that you'd be able to run just fine.
Maybe another video.
Maybe. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me for all the shirt changes, and I'll see you on the next one. Adios.